go ahead and award a judgment to the creditor if either you have not taken care of that debt. So what happens is the following, guys. Obviously, you're going to go ahead and have an original creditor. It could be somebody like similar to either Walmart. It could be somebody from Macy's. It could be somebody from Bank of America, an original creditor. And once you go ahead and stop making payments, then for the most part, that creditor is going to do what's called the charge-off. The charge-off basically is what goes through profits and loss. So through the profits and loss, what happens is that the state's going to give that creditor a tax write-off. And based on the amount of whatever it is that they gave you through that credit limit or through that credit line, through the credit card, then they're going to go ahead and get that discounted from their credit. What's up, Juan? So in this particular case, once the account has been charged off, for the most part, there is another company out there. It could be ABC Collections, it could be LV&V, it could be Midland Funding, who knows, right? And usually, obviously, this is a business, it's an industry, right? They're going to go ahead and pick up that account, and guess what's going to happen? They're going to come after those funds, right? So before it even gets to that point, guys, if right now you're in a situation, you're in a financial bind, you don't know what the heck to do. What's up, Muriel? You guys don't know what to do, and you obviously want to go ahead and settle these accounts. Do it before it gets charged off. There's things that you literally could go ahead and do. Take the initiative. Speak to the creditor. Let them know, listen, I'm going through a financial situation. I want to know if you guys have any kind of hardship programs. There is companies that go ahead and do help you out, either by reducing the rates, either by closing out the account. That's not a bad thing, by the way. It's best for them to go ahead and close out the account than you maintaining the account and hopefully getting back on track, but maybe not. And all of a sudden, you start incurring lates to the point that after 180 days, which is 6 months, the account will be charged off. So if you talk to the creditor, you let them know you're going through a financial hardship, they might be able to go ahead and close out the account. They might be able to go ahead and reduce the rate and get you into a program, maybe 6 months, maybe 12 months. But you know what? At least you're avoiding that step of either going into collections, because then there's going to be obviously repercussions. We have this gentleman by the name of Peter that now obviously once it's gone into collection status, the collection agency can go ahead and take other actions, legal actions, such as you could go ahead and get what's called the bank levy. They could literally go into your bank account. They could go ahead and do a garnishment of wages, go into your job, into your employer, and solicit for them to go ahead and get a percentage of whatever you're earning. They could literally go ahead and take money away from your taxes, and these are things that we want to go ahead and try to avoid. So for the most part, thank you so much, Miss Florida. And for the most part, what you're looking to really do is just try to settle the account before it even takes that additional step. And for you guys who are homeowners, guess what? They could even put liens on your property. And who would want that, right? So when you're looking to refinance, guess what? You're going to have to take care of that debt. So a few things too, especially for those people who actually, before it goes into a judgment, what happens? So now we stop paying the account, which obviously I'm telling you guys, try to see if you could come up with some sort of negotiation with the creditor so it doesn't go into collections. But if it has already gone into collection, the best way to go ahead and handle that, especially if you're trying to have healthy credit, dispute the information. Try to challenge it, because at the end, paying off these collections is not beneficial to improving scores, because the information will remain on your credit. What you guys are looking to do, if it's already gone into collection and the creditor is looking to get some sort of settlement, try to get what's called a payment for deletion. The payment for deletion, what it's going to go ahead and do, it's going to go ahead and give you a letter saying that once the balance has been satisfied, it will be deleted from all three agencies. If you're able to obtain this is really valuable, because now you could go ahead and send that information over to the three agencies, get the information deleted, and at the same time, in the future, that creditor will not come after you, just given the fact that, guess what? That debt has been settled. But if it's already gotten to the point that you're receiving some sort of like litigation letters, maybe some attorney stuff, and they're wanting for you to go to court, maybe a summons, you got subpoenaed or something like that, well, then now you've gone into that next level, which is obviously in this particular case, it could result, if you don't show up, into a judgment, because it's going to get awarded to the creditor. So a few heads up here, guys. If this is happening to you, try to go prepared. Try to go to the extent of going out there and take your taxes with you. The last 2 years. If you're somebody who you're still having financial difficulties, what judge is gonna go ahead and award a credit or something? But if you go unprepared, if you don't have documentation, you haven't been disputing, you haven't been challenging, you don't know if the information is accurate, you don't know all of that, guess what? And especially if you don't show up, they're going to award that to the creditor. So, and then obviously you're going to get a judgment. And if you don't take care of that judgment, then they could do the garnishment, they could do the bank levy, you know, they could do all these other additional things as well. That's basically that. Now, also keep in mind, guys, that this individual per se obviously has only Social Security. So going back to Peter's question, could they go ahead and take away money from his Social Security? And in this particular case, they cannot. Okay, so that's something that they cannot take it directly from his Social Security. What will happen is if he does have any kind of direct deposit going into the bank account, they cannot touch that money. But if he has excess funds, they might be able to go ahead and take over some of those resources, some of those funds. So in this particular case, it's a sticky situation. Could they go ahead and touch the Social Security? They can't. Could they go into your bank account, and if you have an excess amount of funds, could they go ahead and take some of that? They probably could go ahead and handle that, or take that money from you. So guys, before you guys get into any kind of situation like that, the most important thing is try to speak to the creditor. Try to keep that conversation alive to an extent. You know, obviously at the end, look at it from the standpoint as to somebody went ahead and let you borrow some money, and now you're getting to the point that, guess what, you can't pay it back. But if you come up with some sort of agreement, then you're basically just, you know, you're still willing to go ahead and settle the balance. You're still willing to go ahead and take care of that before it gets or it escalates to even a greater problem, right? One key component here, and this is something that's obviously happened to a few of our clients. Guys, keep in mind too, if you guys, depending on the state that you're in, you could Google this information and you put what's called statute of limitations on debt. I'm in Florida, and in Florida, any debt past 4 years, 5 years written, because it's verbal and written, this includes promissory notes as well, which are mortgages. And if that creditor, that collection agency has not sued you, and you're already past the statute of limitations, and then they try to go ahead and solicit, because they do this, they try to fish, look it up in your state, and if it's already past the statute of limitation, then that legally means that they forfeited the rights to go ahead and sue you. And if this is obviously also happening to you, Google in your state, and if it is already past the statute of limitation, then obviously don't make any payments, because what's going to happen is that once you make one single dollar payment, it re-ages the account, meaning that then they could go, the whole statute of limitation thing starts all over again. It starts the clock again. So if you guys are obviously concerned about certain things like collections, debts, feel free to go ahead and contact our office. We offer a free credit evaluation. We try to provide as much information as possible. We know that every situation is different. Every case is different. So because of that, we always want to go ahead and make sure that we look at the report first based on what you have. We give you the expectations, length of time, how long is it going to take, how much are we looking to increase, and let's go ahead and work together. It's what I tell people. This is a partnership. We have to work together, right? So guys, I hope this was obviously very informative. Again, if you guys have any questions, always feel free to contact our office at 1-855-532-8453, option number 1. Thank you so much. And to the next time, guys, I hope you guys have a great day. Take care.